चालू हमने बॉम्बे से किया, एक विले पार्ले से किया, एंड देन वी मूव टू बैंगलोर। बट वी न्यू 16 साल पहले कि ये जो फिनोमेना है, smartphones and apps, and Apple had just launched 2007 2008. I think we just saw it first कि a lot of people will spend more time on mobile, apps बड़े हो जाएंगे। तो ये हमने 2007-8 में somewhat we saw the future, and thank God we betted on this, and we said ये चीज हम सिर्फ इंडिया के लिए नहीं करेंगे, सिर्फ साउथ ईस्ट एशिया के लिए नहीं करेंगे, पर ये तो ग्लोबल फिनोमेना है। राइट, एवरीवन रश्ड इनटू कि यार मुझे भी टिकटॉक बनाना है द मोमेंट टिकटॉक वाज बैन। राइट, एंड फंडामेंटली वहां प्रॉब्लम है कि लेट्स जस्ट मेक अ क्लोन ऑफ टिकटॉक। तो अब हम बोल रहे हैं हमारा नेक्स्ट बिग प्रोडक्ट विजन होगा ऑन हाउ वी कैन मेक all the phones out there feel like an AI phone. Imagine आपके phone is actually helping you like a companion, like a friend. कि चाहत, I know, I think you most likely will like more about the latest movies, not about music. So here is something new that happened yesterday.
हेलो एंड वेलकम टू पैसा लाइव। पीयूष, आज हमारी बात होने वाली है काफी इंटरेस्टिंग से फॉर ग्लांस एंड InMobi, एंड लेट्स जस्ट टॉक कि किस तरह से चेंजिंग टाइम्स के साथ साथ कंज्यूमर्स की कंटेंट कंजम्पशन पैटर्न बदले हैं एंड हाउ इट इज टेक्नोलॉजिकली ड्रिवन एंड just the changing landscape. What have you noticed in the past 2 to 3 years?
No, firstly, Char, thanks for this opportunity. I think it's great to be online on ABP Live, and I think it's phenomenal what you guys have done. I would love to share how we think about InMobi and Glance overall. We always knew 15, 16 years ago when we founded InMobi that there is a big gap, and that we should launch a world-class tech and product company from India. Right? And that time, we were very clear that this should be a unicorn in its own right. We were the first unicorn of the country. It was a matter of pride in that way that we could be the one of those 75 historical milestones that the government of India has recognized. And then we went on to say, let's not just build a B2B company, but what will it mean to have a second consumer company called Glance? And there, to your question, we've seen a lot of the consumer internet companies and the innovation initially came from the West. The first wave of innovation, Google, Amazon, Facebook, Instagram, whatnot. And the second wave of that innovation came from China. We saw ByteDance and a bunch of companies going global. So we really felt that there could be this huge consumer internet company that we want to build, we are building through Glance, that will go global. And that mission, that ambition of building this company out of India globally and being the first one in that way is something we strongly believe in. And we've seen that. We've seen a bunch of these products now going live in UPI in a very interesting manner. Itself is a innovation from here, which we all know is going to like many countries.
Right.
And while we did that on the InMobi side, which is a B2B ad tech play, doing this with Glance, which is a consumer offering on like 500 million phones out there, is another ambition altogether, frankly. So we've seen a lot of the innovation happening from India, Southeast Asia is actually quite relevant for the West, because India and this part has got more youth, and how they use the phone and how they use the devices and content and consumption. A lot of what we're seeing here is actually what the West is catching up on. Just as the West never could imagine that there's a TikTok which will take over the US. Similarly, we are seeing that what we are experiencing here at the launch is the same product that is now gaining ground in Japan or US for that matter. So that is mind-boggling. And I think that is a phenomenal thing we are seeing out here in terms of consumer trends, which is fairly global in nature. It is not that US is a different market, or India is a US market that way. The youth across the world, when they consume and glance on their phone and what they want to discover, it's the same emotional need in that sense. So that's what we are seeing.
Rightly said, Piyush. Also, आप कंटेंट कंजम्पशन से क्लोजली जुड़े हुए हैं, राइट? आपने पिछले कुछ टाइम में किसी तरह का पैटर्न देखा कि कंज्यूमर्स के अंदर जो कंटेंट कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, दिस पैटर्न हैज रिसेंटली इमर्ज्ड, or this is phenomenal change that has come? Have you seen any such kind of pattern that the new age consumers are following? Like, how are they consuming the content now?
Yeah, great question. You know what? The couple of things we are seeing across the board. One thing is, there is so much of content out there, and we realized that there's a lot of anxiety and a bit of a FOMO, that am I missing something? There's so much happening out there. There is an information overload, and a lot of consumers are feeling, hey, what is the best way for me to be on top of the game? How do I stay updated about the latest trend in fashion? How do I stay updated about the latest movie in town? And how do I just know that there is this breaking news happening out there? And everyone has their need, because that's when you become relevant in your peer group and society. But I think the whole short video world has taught us here, let's not do too much effort. Who has the energy to go and look for something,
Right.
download an app, search something? So there's a lot of this need to know, need to be updated, this anxiety that am I not aware? And if someone, and since Glance is solving that problem very easily on their lock screen and surfaces, people are just happy that it is very easy.
Right.
So I think like we have people across these markets in India, Indonesia, who are saying, hey, it is such we could not watch all the matches in IPL or FIFA, but it's just great to know what is happening and then have that conversation at the dinner table in the evening, right? It is great to be able to just discover these things, discover something new. And our phrase is har pal kuch naya, har pal kuch new, without really looking for it. Because how will you know what exists out there? So the pattern we are seeing is people want more, but they don't want to spend that energy or look for it. They really want a way where they can easily discover it, easily know about it, and just consume it without much energy, and spend times. And that too throughout the day, because you have that 5 minute there in the lift, you have the 10 minute between meetings, or in the evening when you're just walking back or going in the bus or car. So a lot of that uh, multi interactions in the day. When you want to watch Netflix, you go in the night and you open the TV and you watch Netflix. When you want to do that YouTube or WhatsApp thing, you open the phone and do it. But this everyday discovery of new things is what people are liking. So that's one big thing. That's one big thing you're seeing. Second is vernacular. It's huge. It's huge. And this is not the tier 3 person in the country who does not know English. This is the sophisticated, educated class who understands English but wants some content in their language.
Yeah. Because of the
And I've
connection.
seen that. Yeah, they just feel that there's too much English out there, and they want to know these things, and they want to see the videos. They just love it when the games have themes like these. Like we are running Chota Bheem in Indonesia, a game, right? So that's what is happening. So vernacular is a huge pattern, and we are seeing it. So that's also happening. And then live, that's a third thing. You talked about live earlier. I think they all want to be in this mindless consumption of short videos, which we all do. I think a lot of them also want to be more involved, more engaged with the creator, the journalist, the game streamer. More of a lean in type of behavior, not a lean back behavior that you are mindlessly consuming
Right.
in a dopamine head. So that we're seeing that live and fresh stuff
Right.
is what they really like and enjoy. So that's another thing you're seeing.
पीयूष अनदर थिंग इंडिया में पिछले आई वुड से 7-8 सालों के अंदर ऐसे बहुत सारे प्रोडक्ट्स और भी आए हैं जस्ट लाइक ग्लांस बहुत सारी एप्स आई हैं सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स आए हैं बिकॉज ऑफ कोर्स कंटेंट कंजम्पशन अगर बढ़ गई है नाउ इट्स नो मोर टू रेस्ट्रिक्टेड टू मेट्रोस now it's tier 2 tier 3s chota chota gaon gali everywhere like you know the numbers how many Indians actually have smartphones nowadays so जब जिस तरह कंजम्पशन बढ़ी है डेफिनेटली प्लेटफॉर्म एंड प्रोडक्ट्स भी बढ़े हैं बट वी हैव आल्सो सीन पिछले कुछ टाइम में लॉन्च हुए प्रोडक्ट्स दे आर मे बी नॉट बीइंग एबल टू penetrate that deeper like I don't know if I can take names or maybe I can just cut this part out. बहुत सारी apps आई हैं, चिंगारी आई, कुआ आई, there are so many other players. Do you think that not each and every product is able to penetrate that deep? मतलब what is the problem? कहाँ challenge कहाँ आ रहा है?
See, you are Chahat asking a very important question. Everyone rushed into कि यार मुझे भी TikTok बनाना है the moment TikTok was banned.
Yeah.
Right. And fundamentally वहाँ problem है कि let's just make a clone of TikTok. I think दो गलतियां हुई and of course we also learned along the way and we figured out the right answer, I would say. First, I think everyone wants that the content should be a lot more fresh and aspirational. मतलब सब लोग वही कर रहे हैं, which is a dance and music and whatnot was not helping anyone. And because YouTube Shorts and Reels have such better premium quality, any other third platform which wants to compete out there, the biggies, had to make sure कि यार कुछ premium है. It has to be high quality. It has to be good creators. It has to be stuff from international also, because half the time when we watch Reels or YouTube Shorts, I think a lot of the content comes from international markets. So that is one thing. How do you attract more and more high quality wale creators? अच्छे वाले जो who are talking about makeup in an interesting manner, who are talking about how to do this, how to think about monochrome as a fashion trend. Right. We have a bunch of इतने लोग हैं creators, वो creator financial stock market का analysis करके बता रहे हैं, and we are seeing youth glued onto it. कि why is this Tata Tele stock a better one than some other one? So in all of this, I think the approach most of them took was purely about entertainment. Right. And I think somewhere we felt कि नहीं यार ये जो youth है, ये जो लोग हैं, yeah, they want to get entertained, but these are ambitious, aspirational youth who want to become something big. तो यार वो trend क्या होना चाहिए, वो a lot of the youth are actually learning Korean words because K-pop is so huge in this country.
Right.
A lot of them are learning this stocks thing, or even I have realized a lot of them love astrology and mentalist wali cheezein, right? It's not just that this is not old-fashioned stuff. So I think that is one big thing we did a lot more and others maybe did not enough. I think that's why that has happened. Second big thing, I think glance as a जो reach हमारा है ना is very large. So when a creator or a journalist, when you went live, we could go on to millions and millions of devices because हमारा app नहीं है on the Play Store. कि user has to go and look for the app and open it. User saw it on the lock screen. Right. There were creators who said, "अरे मेरे पड़ोस वाले ने बोला कि I saw you on my lock screen," and they felt so good about it. A lot of the creators, there is so much recognition for creators for this to happen. So that is the second reason. Our reach, कि 200-250 million phones पे automatically जा रहा है that content. is just powerful that way. And then finally, I would say ultimately every creator had to figure out a way to make money now. And that just that nubs, just that thing of how to make sure you're monetizing this because of our InMobi strength. Because हमने ये 15 साल की monetizing through the right kind of advertising and all that. That's another strength we brought on the table that others could not do it because it's not easy.
Right.
So all these things have come together, and I think a lot of them have shut down, and we kept at it, and now we are launching all this not just in India but Indonesia, Japan, US, the same playbook जो हमने किया है यहाँ पे on this front. So that's what is happening on our side, and that's where we got, I think, amongst the big guys, apart from Meta and Google, YouTube, we will become the third player in India who's actually survived, differentiated, and done well for ourselves.
I think फिलहाल तो survival is actually very necessary. It is very much required because पिछले कुछ time में इतने products आए, इतनी companies आई, and as rightly said by you, एक कनेक्ट बिल्ड नहीं होता तो ऑफ कोर्स कंटेंट कंज्यूम करने वाला भी व्यूअर अटैच नहीं हो पाता. Piyush, coming to the story of InMobi, it was from being the first India's first unicorn, and that company was purely B2B, and now you have also with Glance moved to B2C. So इन दोनों के बीच में अगर आपने कोई differentiation देखा हो, how B2B industry in India is flourishing and how is it different from B2C industry in India?
Yeah, so जब हमने InMobi शुरू किया, चालू हमने बॉम्बे से किया, एक विले पार्ले से किया, and then we moved to Bangalore. But we knew 16 साल पहले कि ये जो phenomena है, smartphones and apps, and Apple had just launched 2007, 2008. I think we just saw it first. कि a lot of people will spend more time on mobile. Apps बड़े हो जाएंगे. And then just as Google ने इतना बड़ा business बनाया था on desktop with search, वैसे ही advertising will follow on mobile. तो ये हमने 2007-8 में somewhat we saw the future, and thank God we betted on this. And we said ये चीज हम सिर्फ इंडिया के लिए नहीं करेंगे, सिर्फ साउथ ईस्ट एशिया के लिए नहीं करेंगे, पर ये तो ग्लोबल फिनोमेना है. राइट. तो ग्लोबली 2-3 बिलियन स्मार्टफोन्स आएंगे और वहां पे users will spend time, and how do we make sure we can monetize that time through advertising, through relevant advertising. तो ये हमने InMobi में देखा, हमने करके, and we spent 15 years building this technology, building our sales teams. हमने जब पैसे उठाए from SoftBank for the first time, we said ये चीज we launched in the US, we launched in China, Japan, Korea, and it just gave us a lot of pride कि हम वो इंडिया के पहली कंपनी है से जिसने एक साथ दो बड़े बड़े मार्केट यूएस एंड चाइना में इतना बड़ा प्रोडक्ट एंड टेक्नोलॉजी वाला बिजनेस खड़ा कर दिया ऑन द InMobi साइड, राइट. एंड देन ऑफ कोर्स वी टर्न प्रॉफिटेबल. मतलब ये बोलना जरूरी, मतलब आज आप देख रहे हो क्या हो रहा है मार्केट में, राइट. 2017 में वी सेड वी टर्न प्रॉफिटेबल एज InMobi. Right. You're the first profitable unicorn also that way. And we knew कि हम इसको survive कर पा रहे हैं, scale कर पा रहे हैं, क्योंकि हम खाली इंडिया पे फोकस नहीं कर रहे. हमारे पास यूएस मार्केट है जो हाई आरपू मार्केट है, यूरोप है, चाइना जापान है, एंड इंडिया और एशिया है. So that happened in InMobi. But कंज्यूमर वाले साइड पे, कंज्यूमर B2C वाले साइड पे ग्लांस में it's a different challenge altogether. No, on the consumer side, I think we had, हमें लगा कि this is the first time that consumer will know about Glance. हमारा प्रोडक्ट उनके हाथ में है, and how do we make sure that we think about what they need and build something where we can reach them. So Glance is a very different journey altogether. Again, we started with India, but we knew कि ये चीज भी global है. हर बार when a consumer, all of us pick up a phone 200 times a day, and half of the time we don't know why we picked up the phone. And उस half में, when you glance on your phone, how do we help you do something different? How do we help people discover something new? A new recipe, a new English word, a new fashion trend, a new game, a new movie. तो ये अलग ही चीज है, बड़ी ग्लोबल है. सो द कॉमन पार्ट इज कि ये ग्लोबल हमने देखा, बट इसका इसका एक्चुअल डीएनए, द डीएनए दैट इज नीडेड टू बिल्ड समथिंग लाइक दिस वाज डिफरेंट. एंड इट्स मतलब इट्स मैटर ऑफ प्राइड हमारे लिए कि हमने InMobi एज अ ग्रुप ने, एक कंपनी ने नॉट जस्ट एक लार्ज B2B यूनिकॉर्न बनाया ग्लोबली, और अब एक लार्ज B2C इंटरनेट कंपनी भी बना रहे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाट आई वुड थिंक वी आर डूइंग.
Piyush, Glance has entered Japan. Roposo has plans to start its operations, like launch in Indonesia. How is Indian market different from these Asian countries' market? Like, is there a major difference altogether, or somewhat the trend are same, the users parameters are same, the likes and dislikes of viewers are same? Like, do you think that is there a major differentiation, or it's somewhat similar? Because of course, if it's different, then the strategy would also be different. Your also be different, and if it is similar, then it becomes easier for you.
पता है, हमारा पहले डर था कि when we launch Glance outside India, तो क्या होगा? Will consumers in Japan like this? Japan is a very different market altogether. But over the months, at the core of it, ना, वो लोग ultimately लोग similar हैं in terms of what they feel, what they want, what they need. उनका fear of missing out, उनका नीड कि मुझे इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जाए, अपडेट मिल जाए, कुछ एंटरटेनिंग मिल जाए विदाउट डूइंग मच एफर्ट, राइट, बिना ज्यादा दिमाग लगाए. एंड एंड जो चीज मिले वो प्रीमियम हो, अच्छा हो, बिकॉज आई थिंक देयर इज सो मच क्रैप इन द वर्ल्ड ना. आई थिंक ये हमने देखा कि ये सब ग्लोबल नीड्स हैं. वो जापान वाले को भी वही चाहिए एक तरीके से, इंडोनेशिया आल्सो सिमिलरली. सो दोज आर द कॉमन पार्ट्स की सब जगह. What is different? What is different maybe is, I think we are seeing that Indonesia में live game streaming has taken over, and people are loving जो हम glance में कर रहे हैं. Indonesia is the fastest live game streaming market in the world. India is still catching up, right? Japan में we have seen that इनको games बड़े पसंद हैं, और वो शॉर्ट वीडियो कम पसंद है, बिकॉज अ लॉट ऑफ द जापानीज आर एजेड पीपल. 48 एवरेज एज है जापान का. और ये वो लोग हैं जो 20 साल पहले सुपर मैरियो और निंटेंडो और अटारी खेल रहे थे, एंड दे लव पोकेमॉन. सो व्हेन दे आर सेइंग कि मेरे फोन पे ये गेम आ रहा है जो डाउनलोड नहीं करना, अनलॉक नहीं करना, एंड मैं खेल पा रहा हूँ, suddenly we are seeing a lot of activity in Japan for gaming, right? Sports is a universal thing. Universal. It's crazy कि जब हमने वर्ल्ड कप में किया यहाँ पे इंडिया में स्कोर्स का, people just love the sports thing. Same thing हमने फुटबॉल में किया इंडोनेशिया में. So I think in general I've seen these things become, it's more and more becoming a universal thing we are seeing. Hence the confidence to your question कि नहीं, जो हमने बनाया है यहाँ पे इंडिया में, इस पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड से, ये कोर कंज्यूमर नीड है टू डिस्कवर समथिंग न्यू, टू एनरिच देमसेल्व्स, एंड इसको हम ग्लोबली ले जा सकते हैं.
Piyush, my last question to you would be, Japan हो गया, Indonesia हो गया, what next? What is the maybe roadmap for the next 2 years for Glance plus InMobi? The larger plan. We want to know your plan.
Yeah. So on the Glance front, we have huge ambitions, चाहत कि हमारा ड्रीम है कि हम 2 साल में 1 बिलियन फोन्स में प्रेजेंट.
Globally.
How do we globally, and how can we be the first consumer product जो इंडिया में बना है जो 1 बिलियन यूजर्स को टच करेगा.
And how many
उनके
users, like how many these tech users do we have? If one,
टुडे 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 हमारे पास 450 मिलियन 500 मिलियन यूजर्स हैं इन दिस पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड. हम बोल रहे हैं ग्लोबली इसको हम डबल करना चाहते हैं फॉर 1 बिलियन यूजर्स टू यूज ग्लास on their phones and use that out there. So that's one big mission and ambition we have. And हम उस पाथ में हैं, हमें पता है हम वो कर पा रहे हैं as we expand from Japan to Indonesia to Latin America, US and Europe, all in the next 2 years.
right?
तो वो पहला हमारा है. दूसरा, and this is very important, हमने AI में बहुत काम किया है लास्ट 2-3 साल already. Right, in what terms of what content we recommend, how we make it clean for users. तो अब हम बोल रहे हैं हमारा next big product vision होगा on how we can make all the phones out there feel like an AI phone. Imagine आपके phone is actually helping you like a companion, like a friend. कि चाहत, I know, I think you most likely will like more about the latest movies, not about music. So here is something new that happened yesterday. Or to me, here is a new game that happened for you yesterday. Try it because many people like you are trying it. So we are, हमारा वो AI फोन कि वो बिलियन फोन्स यूजर को कैसे लगे कि ये तो मेरा फोन एक्चुअली AI फर्स्ट फोन हो गया है. That's another big part of our effort and strategy for next 2 years. And उस पे हम काफी काम कर रहे हैं. कोर टेक्नोलॉजी पे, AI पे, मतलब बहुत डीप जा रहे हैं विद ऑल द पार्टनर्स. InMobi साइट पे जो हम ऑलरेडी प्रॉफिटेबल हैं, there we are saying how do we use all the goodness of Glance, Reposo, Nostra and have a combined offering for all our advertisers and brands. कि जब वो सारे जो हमारे clients हैं, how can they benefit from the bigness and reach for these users of Glance? So InMobi is really going after all these users and saying how can this be something that advertisers can benefit from. So InMobi becomes that umbrella group which combines the goodness of mobile ad tech and advertising and builds these consumer brands out there, all as a big tech company. मतलब हम वो पहले genuine big tech, like big tech has always been about Google, Facebook, Amazon, Apple, right? InMobi wants to be that first big tech company from this part of the world जिसने B2C और B2B दोनों में बड़ा काम किया है. And hopefully in the next 2 years, when we do all of this, and hopefully we have our own IPO also, we come out as that first company that did so.
I didn't get your last line.
I'm saying hopefully, I'm saying we're very clear कि with those billion users and that AI phone vision that we have, combine that with InMobi's strength in advertising, हम एक बहुत बड़े big tech company बनेंगे. And of course, at some point in time, we'll think of an IPO. So that's also, yes.
Oh, that's great. That's good news. And when do you expect that to happen?
Fingers crossed on that. उसका आपको wait करना पड़ेगा. But we'll definitely share when the time is right.
Right. Well, I think the plan is good and the roadmap is clear in your mind and in the strategies and then plans you're doing. And of course, looking at InMobi and Glance, I think they're on the right track already. So let's just hope. And I don't think that 1 billion target of yours would be a difficulty for you. And in another or maybe less than 2 years, because content and the way users are behaving, their behavior, their consumption pattern, it is changing rapidly. It is not changing year to year now. It is changing on month to month basis, right? So it can happen even before 2 years. 2 years could be actually the last deadline that you might have given to yourself, right?
Inshallah, definitely. I think there's a lot happening and we are pretty confident that we have built this in a very interesting manner. And in सब चीजों में, how we build our company with the most innovative culture is the thing that actually will help us achieve all of this. There's no other IP. I mean, there is technology IP, there's execution, but I think हमारा culture is, I think, another big reason why we have done so well, and we'll survive, and we are surviving, and we have transformed, and we'll scale in a big way.
Right. And we wish you all the best for that, Piyush.
Thank you, Chad. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.